Hello guys, it's the Vamps on Radio 1. What's up, yo?
What's happening? What's happening?
Well, you obviously love India. This is your third time around. Yeah, so let me ask you about the first time. People say nothing prepares you for India. You know, the smell of the place, the vibe and things like that. How shocked were you year one when you first got here? Brad?
It was a lot. I think we were very excited to come here, and a lot of us have been fans of we've wanted to come here for ages. But I think you're right. I don't think you can prepare yourself. I think it's the traffic, the amount of people, and it's so busy. And then the culture is so much more than you think it's going to be before. The food's incredible. The people are very respectful and welcoming, and we never felt like as welcomed as we did when we first came here. And yeah, we've loved it. We've been coming back ever since. So.
Well, James, everybody says that you're the business brain in the band, the entrepreneur. Do you think India's an exciting opportunity? I mean, in the sense that the fans and how they've come out and supported you the last couple of times.
Yeah, we've been very lucky to have fans from India from day one, and India is such like a massive market that's emerging and progressing every year. So it's a market that we're really keen to work in, and yeah, very happy to be back for the third time.
Super. We've been banging We Don't Care on high rotation. We just love the song in Radio 1. And, so working with Sigala, were you guys mates before, or did you just meet him while working on the project?
Yeah, we were friends with Bruce before, Sigala. And we'd actually written a couple songs before We Don't Care came about, but they just didn't kind of end up on any album. And then We Don't Care came about, and then that just happened. But we'd been working with Sigala for a little bit before we released that song, which is cool. So it's more of a natural relationship, which is why it worked.
And you are the production brains. I mean, lots of people say that you love doing music production, don't you?
Well, yeah, we all do. I think we're really involved now more than ever as a band doing production. Like, we're working on a little project at the moment, and we've done 100% ourselves. So we're really proud of that and excited to show what we can do, like production-wise as well as songwriting. So
let me ask you this question then. You know, there is the Vamps sound, the sound that you guys started off with, because all of you play instruments. And all of a sudden there's this whole EDM movement, and the sounds change just that little bit. Are the old faithfuls coming and saying to you on social networking, oh, Connor, guys, what are you guys doing? Why are you doing this? Or are they welcoming of the new sound? How people adapt? I love the new sound, but I'm just asking in general.
I think All Night was probably the biggest turning point for us with that, and it went down really well. Hopefully it was our biggest song to date, I guess. So yeah, hopefully people like both and can relate to both and enjoy all the music we put out.
Well, I have to say this, you seem to have had a wonderful time in Morocco, at least filming the video.
Yeah, it was a lovely time.
just my type. Who's the lovely lady? I mean, is she British? Is she Moroccan? Is she local? In the video, do you ever ask when you're filming?
Yeah. She spoke very little. Her name was Emma. She spoke very little English, but she was lovely. And yeah, she was, I believe she was French, and then her parents moved over to Morocco. But yeah, she was wonderful. That was like her acting debut, and she was really, really good.
Yeah. Very good. Very impressed.
Yeah, I was too. India's just going through this whole wave of accepting people with alternate sexuality. We had an archaic law called the Law 377, Article 377, which was thrown out, and now LGBT and Q community people are welcomed in India, and they're part of the mainstream. You guys have been big champions as far as that is concerned. I remember when you did I Found a Girl, there were portions of the video which was finding a lesbian band, at the time. So how do you feel about LGBTQ rights?
I mean, that song wasn't really about that as such, but we've all been firm supporters of gender equality and sexuality equality. We've done stuff for years and years for that, and it's great. I saw I think it was it last month that
that's right.
I saw even in the UK it made like a big thing on Twitter. So I saw him retweeted a few things there, and it's great that there's very few countries now that's not been kind of changed and addressed. So yeah, we're really supportive of that change. So good job, India.
So you're telling me actually the song is about finding the female equivalents of you guys, and it's just coincidence that some of them happen to be lesbian people. Is that way?
We didn't know if they were lesbians or not. But
You didn't intend it to be that way. Is that what you're saying?
no, the song is about falling for a girl who is a lesbian, and the video is about forming a band that are the female equivalent of us.
We tried to match them to people that look like us as opposed to their sexual orientation. That wasn't relevant. I mean, they could have been or could have not. We don't know.
But here's the beautiful part about making a video or a song. You make it with one thing in mind, and the audience can interpret it in a million ways.
Yeah, of course. No, that's the beauty of it, Yeah.
Let's talk about the collaborations. I mean, we talked briefly about Sigala, but you guys have worked with Shawn Mendes, and you work with Maggie Lindemann, and you work with Sabrina Carpenter, who you've toured with, and of course Demi Lovato. Demi's going through a bit of a rough phase. Have you guys been in touch with each other, texted, WhatsApp, whatever, Brad?
We sent our love, and I think the whole world got behind her, and that's just a testament to how amazing of a person and an artist she is, that she's affected that many people in a positive way, that everyone has got behind her. So yeah, we still continue to send all of our love and support to Demi and her family, but it was an absolute dream to work with her a few years ago, and she's just one of the best, you know what I mean? So we were 16, 17-year-old boys at that point, so it was like massive for us.
And touring with Sabrina, I mean, it's not as though you do like a one-off recording in studio and you get out. You got to do gig after gig after gig. How's that? I mean, she seems like a delightful girl.
She's great, and a credit to her. She's remained a very, very sweet girl. She's been in the limelight for years and years and years, and there's very few people that have had the longevity of her that have remained true to themselves. And lovely. And it was great to see her every night. She's genuinely really, really talented. It's not faked or anything. She's great, and there's definitely a lot more to come from her. Even though she's still very young, so she's got so much ahead of her.
And Tristan and Connor, I mean, the last time, the one thing that stood out was the collaboration with Vishal and Shekhar. They're mainstream Bollywood guys, but they understand rock and roll because Vishal's been in a rock band, and Belia really exploded. So tell us about your experience of doing that.
That was cool. That was different for us. They came over to London. We recorded Belia in London, and that was really cool. It was just different. It was just so different for us, and I'm so glad we did it. And then we came to India, and then we saw their world. We showed them our world in London, and then they showed us theirs in Mumbai. And we went to Delhi as well, which was cool. We did a couple of songs with them, and in the studio, it was just nice hanging out with just grounded dudes. They're so cool and they're so successful, and people know them in the UK, so it was just a pleasure.
So how do you stay grounded when the girls want to just whip your clothes off, and fans day after day, night after night?
I don't know if they do. I don't know. I don't think we think like that.
It can't be easy. I mean, it doesn't get any easier. I mean, you ask Jagger and Richards from the Rolling Stones and guys who are newer in the business like you, the fame, the adulation, the travel, so how do you get away from it all?
I don't know. I think we just get on with it and don't think about it too much. We don't think we're famous or celebrities or anything like that. So it's just, we just do what we do, like, doing an interview with you and then just chill, go home and chill with our families and stuff. So
we're very like in our bubble as well. As a four, like we're really, really good friends, and just like we just have a good time. Like it's like we're in university, but we just do all this stuff, which is great.
Cool. Hey, you have your own record label, which is it called Steady Records, isn't it? I think that's a fantastic thing to kind of, try and get new artists, get the kind of support that you guys got when you started off. How's that doing? And I think you signed the Tide from the US. Other than that, have you signed anybody else?
So New Hope Club are the latest band that we're working on. They're bizarrely quite similar to how we were when we were starting out. I mean, there's only three of them, but apart from that, very similar into kind of their songwriting in a big way, and into similar sort of bands that I suppose we were back then. So yeah, they're really exciting. They write most of the stuff that they do, and they're really good performers. So for us, that's kind of what we want to do: try and like meet like-minded people like us that are really into songwriting and that kind of stuff, and kind of hopefully give them a helping hand. And they've just got an EP actually coming out I think the end of this week, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, Brad, we didn't talk about one of the biggest collaborations, which is Shawn Mendes. I mean, doing Cecilia with them, the chorus from the famous Simon and Garfunkel song, doing your own thing on it. Shawn's another massive worldwide superstar sensation. How was that?
Well, we knew Shawn. We toured together about 4 years ago, and that was Shawn's first tour he ever did. So we saw Shawn play the first show he ever played, and then to see, and he was a lovely bloke, and we got on really well with him then. And I think you could always tell there was something there that people connected with, because he'd go out with just his guitar, and he'd make the whole room kind of hush, and he'd be brilliant. So I think there was always something there. And after that, we kind of did the collaboration, got him on Cecilia, and he sounded brilliant. But in terms of him being a friend of us, it's been amazing to see him get what he thoroughly deserves as an artist.
Well, I follow you on social networking, and you said, I think it was on Twitter, saying hair too long is the most fun you've had, doing a video in a long time. Why would you say that?
Why was it so much fun? I think because we had so much control over it. We worked with a guy called Dean, who's our day-to-day videographer, and we just Dean and us, and we worked on it together as a collaborative video, and we kind of co-directed it with him, and it was just so much fun, and we got to complete control over that, and we've never done that before.
I know one of my favorite Vamp songs is Middle of the Night.
Oh, yeah.
So what the song means to you guys, and do you have a sense of when you're creating the song, like for example when you created Middle of the Night, do you know it's going to be a super hit, or is it going to be okay, and how does that work?
No, no, you never know. Like, no one knows. If they say they do, they're lying. Middle of the Night is like the lyrics. I just love the lyrics. They're so emotional, and just like if you break it down to an acoustic song, it's a big EDM song. But if you just break it down with just acoustic guitar and the lyrics, it's just so meaningful, and that's what I love about that song.
I know it's been a while, but Brooklyn Beckham actually was debuted in your video. Are you guys still mates, and how do you look back upon that era? I mean, this is Dave and Posh Beckham's son.
Yeah, again, it was like, I think all of the collaborations and friends that we've made have started out as friends. So we used to catch up with Brooklyn, like before we did the video together. We played football with him before we did the video together. So when the video came around, it was a very natural question, and he was wicked. That was the first time he's ever done anything, and he was better than any of us have ever been at acting, so he smashed it.
And I'm going to take you on a rewind, because I remember when Can We Dance came out. I mean, you guys were number 2 on the charts, and you almost were knocking out Counting Stars, One Republic. Those were heady days. Was that video actually shot in your house, or is it supposed to be your home?
Oh no, it wasn't my parents either. I wish I got my parents in. No, it wasn't. It was like, where was it? It was in like Surrey or something. Yeah. It was not. That was so much fun though, and just it had to clean the balls off at the end. It was horrible.
How was the US tour? Well, that's okay. It can pass on Indian radio. So how's America? How's the big US tour? You guys are just back from there. So James.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thanks, man. We did 10 shows across America. Only finished a couple of weeks ago, and then we went to South Korea from there. So yeah, it was a great tour, and America's one of those ones that it's just so much fun because you're on the tour bus for all the time, and it was really good.
Now I noticed on a couple of occasions, and I've seen footage on video of you guys playing football. There's actually a little bit of basketball in one of the videos. So all big football fans, or does cricket feature anywhere? I mean, you guys are from the UK. Did you ever play cricket growing up?
I loved cricket when I grew up, and that was my main sport. James was quite similar. We got into it when we were young in school.
Did you bat, bowl? What did you do?
I was leg spinner. I don't know how
good you were.
But I just enjoyed it. I wasn't I wasn't amazing at it, but I enjoyed it. It was good. And last time I played cricket was in India in the streets.
Oh, we're crazy about cricket. Yeah. So you still managed to follow, or were you too busy, James?
I never really followed it. I just played it. But I stopped playing when I was like 16, 17, because I discovered bike riding, and that kind of took over. But I used to love cricket. It was one of my favourite things, and I grew up in a county on the south coast called Dorset, and Dorset's next to where Tristan's from, Devon, and Devon and Dorset are really big cricket playing counties. So it's weird. If Tristan played for county, we probably would have played each other. So maybe we can reignite the dream and play together at some point.
What about you, Everton fan? You're a football fan, yeah?
Everton fan.
Are you? Well, the guy who's holding the camera is to blame. He said that he knows that you like Jordan Pickford, and he said,
Oh yes, we do like Jordan. You know what? He was like a hero in the for us. No, I'm a Newcastle fan.
a Newcastle fan. Okay, so you set the record straight, Vinay. Do you manage to go and catch some games? Do you go?
Often, yeah. I haven't been up to Newcastle to watch a game in a while, but I live in Birmingham, so I get to go and watch a few games. If Newcastle come, I'll try and watch them at Villa Park or St Andrews. Well, not St Andrews.
Birmingham is like a little India. Apache Indians from out of there, and so many Indian artists.
There's a big Indian community in Birmingham, which is awesome growing up because you're exposed to. That's what I mean. Like that's why I was very excited to come over here because I'm exposed to so much of it in Birmingham, and you see a lot of the culture.
And UB40 reggae, wow.
Yeah, UB40, Black Sabbath. We got a lot of good music in Rome.
Do you read a lot? I mean, again, in your Twitter feed, I found some Murakami.
Yeah.
So, are you reading that? Are you in the midst of that?
I did 2 of his books. So I did Norwegian Wood and Colourless Tazaki, I don't know how you say his name. But yeah, they were really good. My sister's a big fan of his, and it's very therapeutic when you're on the road. It kind of takes you away from everything that you're doing. So it's a good time to just kind of de-stress.
Just a last couple of old rewind ones. Wild Heart. I mean, those are wild days. Again, I love the song. I love the hook. I love the fact that you would do a video where we're just picking up people on the road. Your memories of that, of filming that.
Yeah, it's great. I actually listened. That came on my playlist like randomly yesterday on the plane, and I was just like, oh, it's great memories and like good like energy. Great energy, and the video was just really fun as well. It was one of our first times being in LA, and we filmed it in the desert, literally, and it was awesome. It was really fun.
And it also must have been fun for a band that initially started off doing covers, and 1D being one of them, that you got to work with Wayne Hector, who worked with One Direction, as well as Nicki Minaj, which is Last Night. How big was that?
That was big, yeah. Wayne's great. Yeah, he's a lovely man and obviously very talented. So, but Last Night, still to this day, is probably one of our favourite live songs to play. So, yeah, Wayne's.
We did a couple of the tunes with him as well. We wrote Stolen Moments with him and Risk It All with him, and he's just an absolute machine when you're in the room with him. Like he just goes from idea to idea to idea. So it's like working with them when you're like a 16-year-old songwriter is the most inspiring thing.
And here are all these wonderful music producers in Europe. I mean, there's Martin Jensen, who's Danish. He's Matoma, who's Norwegian. You know, some amazing sounds again coming out of Europe. And you're working with all these exciting guys. These must be great times for evolution as far as the sound of the Vamps is concerned. James?
Yeah, so we've done 3 collaborations with Scandinavians, so Martin Jensen, Mike Perry, and Matoma, which is kind of, it's been really good for us. Scandinavia's got like a vibe for sure that we've really tried to kind of take inspiration from. And yeah, we're up for doing more stuff. Definitely, really good.
Okay, last few questions before we wrap. What are Christmas plans? Are you guys gonna go back home, have the turkey dinner, or are you gonna be on tour? What are Christmas plans?
I'm gonna destroy a turkey. You know what? My mum asked me if we want a goose instead of turkey, and I've never tried that. I've never tried.
Go for it. Give it a go.
Yeah. Christmas. I'm gonna go snowboarding. Yeah, not oak for Christmas, but yeah.
What about you guys? Christmas plans?
I'll be in the pub on Christmas Eve. That's my plan. Yeah.
James?
I like food. So we have these little things at home called frosted fancies. They're little white cakes. A box of them, and that's like 12 of them in one go, and it's well good.
What about you?
Well, I'm probably going to be working because I do all this MCing, and that's bumper time to make the money.
What's Christmas like in India?
Well, yeah, exactly the same. I mean, we have suburbs here which have a lot of Catholic people, from the community. There's Bandra, there's Malad. People go to church. There's midnight mass. There's a lot of turkey eating. Cool. So it's great fun. People playing Santa, and because I'm on the bulkier side, I get to play Santa a lot with the kids especially. Favorite Indian food, guys? What is it that you love in India?
Favorite food here? You know what? Everything. I'll eat it. Anything. I want to try the street food. I really want to try the street food. Yeah.
I'd probably go for a chicken tikka. That's pretty strong.
Brad?
Pani puri.
Oh, that's street food. That's street food. James?
Matzah paneer with a dal on the side too. Curry and the dal.
He knows his food. Guys, before we wrap, can we have you singing some for us? Whatever you like. You want to do Cecilia? It's fine. You want to do?
We'll do all night.
Yeah, lovely. Let's do it. The Vamps singing for us live. Let's go.
I've been up all night, no sleep. 'Cause I feel like I'm always dreaming all night, no sleep. 'Cause I feel like I'm always dreaming. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.